Hey, look what we have found. A big sound in a small town. Far away from the bright lights. They're making music every night. Discover what is all around. A big sound. A big sound. In a small town. Big sound, small town. A really big sound. Big sound, small town.
You're listening to Big Sound Small Town with Sandy Carlton.
Hi, and welcome to Big Sound Small Town. I'm your host, Sandy Carlton, and this is a podcast about the lives and stories of the musicians, writers, artists, and their associates that have their roots in the small towns and communities across America. If you like what you hear, tell somebody. Enjoy.
But that ain't nothing new to me. We've been in that way all life.
I've been getting him in
Hi, I'm Dennis Newton. I've known Sandy a lot of years here.
Yeah,
enjoyed his music a lot of years, and that's the truth.
Well, we've played together a lot of times, a lot of different things over the years.
Man.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time together at work.
Oh, God, Lord, yes. You could do a whole podcast on that.
Yeah, we were rebels, no doubt about it.
No doubt.
But I've always loved to sing, and I got in with my son and Sandy and a few other people, and we started doing original music, and it was just it's a dream come true. It's like working a 24-hour job and wishing the day didn't end.
Yeah.
You didn't need no breaks. You just kept going and going and going, and it's what you call passion, and I got a ton of it, and I still do. I'm 66. I sing under the Hollywood Dude now, and I think that's about enough talking about myself for right now.
Well, I think let's take it back. When did you first know that you was in love with music?
Probably about 4 years old. It's a crazy story. I hated singing. My mother made me sing. She made up this song in church. She had me sing. She had me sit in the back pews when we come in, and when she started playing at the first of the service, she would call me up, and I'd have to walk around behind the pew and then straight through the center of the aisles. Everything in me was like Jell-O. You got to remember now, I'm 4 years old. Scared to death. I'd go back and sit down and just be trembling. And after about a year of that, when I was about 5, I come back, same scenario, doing it. I mean, I'd done it every Sunday.
Right.
But the same scenario, but that day, I sat back down, and I wasn't shaking. And I looked at my father sitting over there beside me and my mother, and they were just smiling, and that changed my whole idea of being scared. I started saying, yeah, they like this. Maybe I'm all right.
Yeah.
And so then it took off.
Well, now okay. Your family played in church, but they had like maybe a gospel group too, did they not?
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought. I mean, because I remember going to your house one time. This is kind of a funny story. You're probably going to shoot me over the story, but we was there, and your mom was playing piano.
Yeah.
And you were singing, and I think at that point she made you sing harmony to her, and she said she told you, don't sing it in Dennis way, sing the harmony. You sing what you're supposed to. I think,
yeah.
So she's like, oh no, you got to cut. You can't be the star of this. You're a harmony singer. Sing the harmony part.
Yeah, she could rattle a piano. I mean,
I saw her up there doing it. Yes, sir, I saw her.
It didn't matter where we went. She had always, and it wasn't my favorite gospel song, but I loved it. It's How Great Thou Art.
Yeah.
And she thought I was heaven sent when it come to that song.
Oh, 'cause she could.
And so I sung it all the time.
Right.
And but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm grown now, so I was getting into it.
Well, that's so you kind of had support for your singing all your life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that they didn't tell you not to sing or nothing ever, did they?
No.
Yeah,
I was telling myself not to sing in the
Right.
beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, but you know, sometimes the things you love in life begins. You know, some people it's. Let me rephrase that. The things you hate in life
Yeah.
sometimes become something that you love the most because it was harder for you to make that transition.
True. Well, did you continue just singing at church, or at some point did you branch out, or did you just quit?
Oh no. I kept singing at church. I became a choir director.
Okay.
I was all over the music. I would sing in church, the New Age song that was
Right.
coming up
Sure.
with a quartet we had in a little church group.
Yeah. I mean,
We
that's-
didn't practice a whole lot, but it was enjoyable. We didn't have to do but one song or two every service, so we enjoyed that. And then later on, I'd guess in the 80s, a little bit past the mid-80s, I started with a band called Excel. We played a lot of South Carolina, Lake Lure area, Rutherford County, played some Cleveland County, and one of the best bands I've ever been associated
And that
with.
would have been that, and that was not gospel music.
No. That was rocking.
We're gonna make that clear that you'd moved on past the gospel music at that point.
Well, still now, all a cappella in what I do now, and y'all haven't really said what I do now, but I'll a cappella a song to this day, and most of the times it'll be a gospel song before I start a show, even though they're drinking beer, having a ball.
Right.
I mean, I do that. It's
Oh, I
part
mean-
of my DNA.
Well, it's also there's some awfully good songs too.
I'd like to think I'm making the Lord smile at me
There you
because
go.
I'd appreciate that on my deathbed.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're gonna need somebody on your bond when you die. That's for sure.
But these guys, I tell you how motivated we were to be successful our first time out. We practiced for a year on Thursday nights. Two guys was 30 miles away in Kings Mountain.
Wow.
One was in Shelby, and they always came to my house because that's where all the equipment was set up.
Right.
And they'd come on Thursday nights, and we practiced for a year before we done our first show.
Wow.
And
That's
man,
dedicated.
I'm telling you what, we had a lead guitar player, Roger Bright. His dad played with, he may have played with Lester Flatt and Earl. I'm not sure. I can find out though.
Right.
But his dad was real renowned for three-finger picking and stuff.
Right.
And he played with Doc Watson, I'm sure. And anyway, he incorporated his bluegrass, Roger did, style of picking
Right.
with rock and roll, and
There
he
you
could
go.
tear it up to this day.
There you go.
This day. And then time went on, you get married, you know, the bands break up and this and that and that and this. Anyway, it's hard to have a good band.
Oh, it's
hard.
hard.
It's hard to get them to stick together.
It is.
As one, you know.
It is.
But
you even played at one point with the famous Doug Benson, didn't you?
oh yeah.
Oh, Doug.
That was with XL Band.
Doug could play.
Doug Benson, man, he liked to turn that volume
Oh
up.
boy,
buddy.
loudest guitar player in the world, I think.
You wake up on a Sunday morning and to talk, people say, "What's wrong with you?" You said, "It's hard to say." But yeah.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, Sandy, it's been music has been the most beautiful lady in my life, in my whole life. Period.
Yeah, I
Bar none.
understand that. I that's you know, it is for people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it really is.
And it's not about money. It's about there's something about getting up there and jamming and seeing other people like what you're doing. It's
Yeah, it
better than a
is.
drug. It's better than anything.
It is.
It's a beautiful because you know you're the cause of their excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, how could it not make you feel good?
I agree.
You know.
It is a good feeling, even when you have to do all the other stuff that comes with it. You know.
And so now I've progressed. It's like I was sitting at home, Sandy, one Saturday night, about 8 o'clock. I'd been retired 2 years at this time. This is in the recent past. And I just asked myself, I said, listen, what do you want to do? You're sitting at home on a Saturday night. What do you want to do? And I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to sing. Well, I tried to get a band together. It didn't quite work out. They wanted to party when they came in. Nothing against them. They were young guys.
Right.
I mean, that's just what they thought. But
You were more serious.
I was very serious at it. I wanted to get back in it, and I wanted to be appreciated. I wanted to be good enough to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be appreciated
Right.
in life, and that's what I wanted. And so I knew to do that, there's a lot of people out in this world that can sing, but I tried to set myself, I wanted to work hard at it.
Right.
I wanted to be able to look at people and say, listen, I've worked hard to be able to sing.
Right.
And so I feel very confident. I'm not being bold. I just feel confident. And, so that's what I wanted. And I'm to that point now. And I really feel humbled that Sandy's invited me here because the stream of people he's had on his podcast is just ridiculous.
It is kind
Beautiful.
of ridiculous.
It's a beautiful podcast.
So tell them about what you got going on now, because it's unique. You're the only person I know doing it. And, there's been a ton of people through here. You're the only person that's doing anything like this. And, I mean, how did you come up with the idea to do this? And you may as well, I know the reason, but you may as well embellish on the Hollywood dude whole persona.
Well, see, that's
stage
Saturday
name.
night. And then after getting guys to come in, I went to a local place called Barley's in Spindale, North Carolina. And I asked the proprietors there if I could sing there, and they said yeah, and it was going to be April 23rd of the year of the COVID. Everybody knows the year of COVID.
Right.
I swore I'd never mention that word again, but I guess you got to on certain things.
Some things it's impacted a lot of people's lives,
But
even in ways you don't even realize sometimes.
But I decided, I had two friends that would come in and hear me sing, I was very nervous because nobody does what I do.
Yeah, they don't.
I knew if I didn't have a band and I wanted to sing, I was going to have to do it on my own, and that would require me Bluetoothing it and going straight through. But I thought to myself, well, Dennis, if you can sing a lot of songs, in a 2-hour period, you're going to give people a lot of taste of a lot of different varieties.
Right.
That was my mode of thinking. So I done all right. I can buy a beer for somebody or something. So I decided right then and there when Barley's got me, I decided I was going to go to Guitar Center. So I went. I bought me a whole Bose L1 Model 2 system.
Yes,
I bought
fine system.
I bought the mixer and everything with it. I went all out, and then I started practicing. Well, COVID hits. The show's canceled. Mm-hmm. My whole world, I just felt like falling apart. But, I sat there and I said, dang it, man. Right when you're fixing to get enough nerve to try this.
Right.
But see, what I do is just Bluetooth it. And I've got cordless mics. I love interacting with people, so I'll walk through the crowd, bump fist. And you can tell
Right.
who you're not disturbing.
True.
You can tell who's paying attention because really most music in this environment is kind of like you're a good background noise.
Yeah, nobody
because
pays
people's
attention.
having a good time.
Yep.
And they're with their people.
Right.
So
They
I've
don't pay
learned how to
attention.
navigate it.
Right.
And in all honesty, I feel more comfortable on stage now than I ever have in
That's
my entire
great.
life. And I feel like people appreciate the work that I've put into being able to sing. And if you ever get a chance, I'm Hollywood Dude. And that's what I go by. And I do private parties, anything. Just give me a holler. Give me a holler. If you want to, go through. I don't know if Sandy, maybe I should ask him first, but if he'll let them come through you on this podcast and
Sure.
you get up with me, I'm coming.
I hear it. He will. I've known him a long time. Well, now, why did you choose Hollywood Dude for your stage name?
It was. I knew his. Well, I didn't. He hit me blindsided there. Here's how it went down. I loved the name I picked out.
Yeah.
When we were singing originals, one of the guys that could play 9 instruments was from Salt Lake City. We're walking down one morning to get us a crepe. I didn't even know what a crepe was back then. I'm country.
And tell him where you were at.
We was in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yep.
And we were walking down the sidewalk, and Phil looked at me, and he said, Dennis, if you ever sing out on your own, he said, call yourself Dirty D. Lee. He said, they won't forget that. He
Right.
said, they'll remember it. And, I didn't pay no attention. We're just laughing, going down the street. And then this is probably 8 years later is when I start this new venture. And that Dirty D. Lee had stuck there for a reason.
Right.
But when my two boys got together, and they're in their 30s, they said, Dad, there ain't nothing dirty about you. Said, won't you change the name of it? And I said, I like it. So I changed it. It's recent change. It's 4 months ago. It's like I've adopted a new personality for
Right.
myself. Sure. But I loved the Dirty D. Lee, but the Hollywood dude, it's fine. You know, just whatever.
I like the Hollywood dude better, myself personally.
And this came, a guy told me, one of my good friends said, you look like the dude. I said, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He said, the dude on some show, Big
Big
Lebowski or
Lebowski,
something.
that's
He
what it
said,
is.
you look
Yep.
just like him.
It is.
He said, so won't you call yourself dude? Well, you remember, they called me Hollywood
They
carrying
did.
mail.
Yes, they
Me and
did.
You carried mail
Yep,
together for
yep.
years.
We did.
And they'd scream from the rich section all the way to the poor section,
Yep.
Hollywood.
Yep.
I don't know how it got started. I guess it's because I had real long hair.
And it was blonde, and you had a lot of chains around your neck, you know.
Thanks, Sandy Eagle.
And most of the time, that shirt was not buttoned.
Well, yeah, I mean, I caught flack over that non-button in the shirt. Matter of fact, we're getting on the tangent now. You remember that woman that came in on me and said he's got his whole shirt on?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
But yeah, I love Sandy Carlton to death. Y'all can tell that. We intermix, and we're very respectful of each other. And
We've had a long time together.
he's a big he's a big boost. And I told him tonight. I said I don't even know if I'm worth even coming in here. I told him that a while ago coming in
Well,
the
now,
door.
you've missed a whole section here. You got to go back to the Newton bomb. You just skipped it through that one.
Well, now, okay, we're going to get back to the Newton bomb now. My last name's Newton, and my son that lived in Seattle, he left it from high school at 17 years old, and this was in 2010 through 12, maybe 13. I bought him a guitar, and he'd come to the house. Every time he visited, he'd come to the house, and he'd bring that guitar with him on the plane. He'd say, Dad, how's it sound? He's learning on his own. I said, man, it sounds so good, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
God, Sandy, you're putting me in a bind here. but it was horrible.
That's what makes them good, bro.
And I kept telling him, I said, he'd come in. I said, man, you're doing good. And he wasn't really getting no better. But about 2 years later, it's on a Thanksgiving. It's about 12 o'clock at night. I'm about 4 beers in,
right.
sitting on a recliner watching UFC fights.
Right.
And I hear him knock on my door, and I hear the door open. So I knew it had to be somebody, one of my kids.
Right.
He said, is it too late? I said, never too late
Never
for
too
you, man.
late.
I don't never get to see you. He said, I learned a new song, Pops. He said, you want me to play it? And I said, oh, yeah. Well, I'm leaning back on the recliner. I'm in a half doze.
Right, yeah.
kinda. And he starts playing this song when I was a kid. You know it, Sandy.
I do.
Sandy loves that song.
I do.
And he started playing it. The guitar was beautiful. Well, heck, I just set up. I noticed, man. And he finished that song, and I knew right then. I said, he told me I had more enthusiasm than anybody had ever met in his life. My own son told me that over something, and that tickled me. And he said, I know somebody else. I know Phil Bombard in Salt Lake City. And this is the one that told me the Dirty D I
Right,
aforementioned
yeah, I
talked
know
about.
Phil.
But anyway, we got together. We done shows in Seattle. We done shows in Redmond, Washington. We done a private party here. We got to sing. We got blessed with being able to sing at the Don Gibson Theater to open up a talent show and to close a talent show. We done 5 songs. Sandy was there with us. He was playing with us.
I was.
He had the flu or something, if I remember correctly, and
I had a
he was
cold
feeling a
or
little bit
something.
down and out. So here's Sandy way off the stage like a dadgum, somebody scared to get in front of people, and I knew that wasn't the case. And
I
it
didn't want
bothered
to get
me.
him.
I wanted him to come.
I didn't want to get anybody sick.
I didn't care if I got sick or not. I said, Sandy, come on over here. But anyway, it turned out good. We had a good time, man.
Yeah, we did.
And that's what I want to get back into. But if you love music, you can't let no barrier stop you. So that's why I started doing what I do.
You also, during that time, you've left out the fact that y'all did record.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, we re-recorded. I've got some. Sandy may let you hear one of them tonight on this podcast. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I'm just going with what Sandy tells me to do, and I enjoy his enthusiasm. He's laughing, and there's parts where he's getting me in trouble.
Mr. Sapien. The sun has just gone behind the clouds. Till it gets eyes to come back out. You gotta shine your light for me. Hey, watched her walk away. And as we felt all the love burn down, picked ourselves up off the ground. Let's not throw our lives away. Cause love, it ain't love if it's not for free. Like the sun, shines its light for the world to see, yeah. Hey, Mother Sapien, I love you more than words contain. Give me more than a minute. I gotta live my life my way. Never be a better time than now. Know that you could really do it somehow. But in yourself you gotta have faith. Cause love, it ain't love if it's not for free. And a good son shines his light for his mother to see, yes. Enjoy simple things when they blow through the window and scream. Let's not live life lavish. Cause there's others that need us now. We will find a way to help them out if we don't act so foolishly.